These are the steps you're going to need to take to fight against AI data centers. All right, guys. So AI data centers are now the flavor of the month, right? Apparently, they're being built everywhere at lightning speed. Some would say that the speed at they're building these AI data centers, or rather data centers, excuse me, at the speed they're building them is alarmingly high, or rather very suspicious, excuse me. And you're looking at this and you're going, why are they rushing to build so many AI data centers? Meanwhile, they won't even build housing buildings or housing facilities for people. So I find that to be very odd. And the fact that you could throw a dart now in almost anybody's county across this country, and you're going to see AI data centers being built or talked about being built. You're even going to see some neighborhoods trying to fight back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the steps you can take to, I guess, develop or create a paper trail on how bad these data centers are. So at the very least, guys, you have a baseline of everything that's needed. So when it starts affecting your neighborhood, which is going to be pretty fast, I might add, and start affecting your health, which is also going to be pretty fast, you have a baseline that you can go back to and then start breaking politicians' balls. Now, this is step one. There is a step two. I'm not sure I'm going to do a step three. And if I do a step three, it's probably going to be on Rumble because it's going to be that bad. Now, what everybody needs to understand, guys, is that a lot of politicians are not stopping these. Your local politician are not stopping these. Now, some areas and some states are starting to draw up plans or, I guess, bills where they're going to put a couple of year hold on these places being built. I want to say Kentucky or Kansas, not Kentucky, maybe Kansas, or some area in Kansas or Kentucky where they're not building any AI data centers in the area. There are a lot of politicians talking about how bad these places are once they go online. So never mind the fact that the amount of destruction they cause building them, when they go online, they cause even more. And then when they go online, they start causing health implications, or health problems, excuse me. Now, the one thing you're going to need, and not everybody's going to do this, so this is going to fall upon those who are very serious about getting AI data centers, getting data centers out of their area. At the very least, stopping them from being built. So what you're going to do is step one. You're going to create or collect as much data, as you can on the effects and the health problems that these are creating. These are creating, guys, undoubtable health issues. That's without a doubt. A lot of people are complaining of so many different things once these things go online. Not to mention the environmental problems they're also causing by way of dirtying the air, noise pollution, light pollution, and then either A, using up all the water in the area, or B, tainting and dirtying the water. So you're going to collect all of this data. You're going to collect a lot of the complaints from people that live by data centers. You're going to start a database of your own, if you will. And you're going to put all of this stuff down. I would say write it out as you see it, copy and paste it as you see it, and then print it out so that nothing happens to your computer coincidentally. So you're going to have all of this information, print it out, and put in a file. Then you and your family are going to take yourselves to the doctor and you're going to do a baseline blood test. And so that means everything that your body is free from right now, you're going to record that. You're going to record your blood levels on everything, whether that's lead and any kind of metals, heavy metals, things like that. You're going to record all of that. And then you're also going to go for physical exam. You're going to go for eyes, throat, and ear tests to make sure everything's on the up and up and everything's clear. And that's going to be a baseline. Then you're going to go to an environmentalist, and you're going to have the soil around your area tested, collected and tested. You're going to have your water collected and tested. You're going to send those off and get a baseline again on where your soil level and where your water level is at. And that's also water flow and pressure in the area. So test the well depth. If you guys have well aquifer depth, I'm pretty sure you guys can do that. Test the depth of that. Test the water to make sure it's clean, clear, and drinkable. And then test the soil to make sure there's no heavy metals and contaminants in those soils. You're also going to have contaminants in your body. So that's why you're also testing. You're getting a baseline of your blood so that you know where it's at. So obviously, if those contaminants and toxins are in the air, it's going to raise those levels in your blood. But you got to get a complete blood test, I might add. So now you got your blood test done, you got the baseline, you got your hearing, your nose, and your throat baseline done. You got your soil collected, you got your water tested, you got the baseline of that. Then you're going to also record at night the noise level in your area, or the noise pollution, excuse me, in your area. Now, a lot of you have seemingly none. In fact, your noise pollution is probably going to come from animals howling and hooting and stuff like that. So try to record a lot of that, not when the moon is out, but when there's no moon. Get a baseline there, get a baseline when the full moon's out, excuse me, and try to get a baseline, I would also say, an additional 5 days a week, every night. Record that. Keep that on deck. You could, if I'm not mistaken, I think you could pay somebody to do that too, so they can analyze the noise level and the decibels and all that other stuff. I'm pretty sure you can, but get that tested as well. Then, light pollution. That's a simple one. Videotape that, record it. Just take your phone out and record how dark it is. Use cameras, the whole 9 yards, to get the level of light pollution that doesn't exist in your area right now. I know a lot of you guys are living in like pitch black at night. Record that, right? Videotape it, say how dark it is, how you can't see anything. Use a flashlight to see how far you can see. Do the whole 9-yard test. And again, compile all of that information. Now you have a baseline of everything. So you should start this right before they start building. Even if they break ground, you can still get away with these baselines before it goes online. Because once it goes online, everything changes. Once it goes online, you're going to start seeing the environment change before your eyes. You also need to, if I didn't mention this before, you also need to get the air tested as well. That's why you're getting the throat and nose check, because you need the air tested as well, because the air, according to a lot of people, changes once it goes online. And a lot of people complain of a scratchy throat, problem with their nose. So make sure you get the air tested as well. That's actually one of the more important ones, the air being tested. Get the air quality on your property and your surrounding area, your town, whatever it is, tested as well. And once they pick a spot to build an AI center, get the air quality tested there, on the outside, obviously, on the outside of that property line, get the quality of air tested there as well, and test the soil there. Don't go on their property, but get soil samples right off their property and get that tested as well, so that you guys can see the difference. Also, record the water flow coming out of your faucet before they go online, because a lot of people complain that once they've gone online, their water pressure is to a trickle. In fact, a lot of people have to get water bottles from like Walmart or whatever it is, because they can no longer drink the water. Because not only is it coming out of the trickle, they also are having issues with the water itself coming out like some kind of orange tinge color, which they don't know what it is. So I would say, guys, get all of that tested, have everything collected, get all of the complaints of having a data center, get all of that tested. So when there's a hearing or some kind of nonsense where they're talking about bringing a data center, and you got that town meeting or state meeting or whatever it is, you have all of this information, especially all of the information from all of the complaints of people talking about once it went online, how their lives changed, physically, mentally, and water and air wise, right? Environmentally, excuse me, how all their lives change right across the board. So once you get all of that, guys, you can fight. Now, if your politician looks all of this data that you collected from the other data centers that went online and the complaints they're seeing, if your local politician goes against that, well, then that's step 2. And we will talk about in step 2 what to do. Other than that, guys, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.